Time for the 49ers Rush Podcast.
I want to start off with good old George Kittle. And this is a 40-second clip just talking on the importance of a cross practice.
I mean, I think when you do combined practices, especially I think both teams here are trying to get better. You didn't see a couple guys trying to go out of their way just to hit someone or start a fight, something like that. You have two teams that are trying to get better, and when you can compete kind of in this environment too, where you can slow it down, you can kind of talk about stuff, and there's not the bullets aren't flying, and I think it's really beneficial to both teams. And honestly, I think these two practices are more important than the game. Honestly, I mean, you have a chance here to show out in front of a lot of people, coaching staff. They're going to see everything, all the scouts, everybody gets to see it. So, I mean, this is an opportunity for you. Who knows? Someone that might not make our team might make a Viking, and someone that's a Viking might not make them, and we might pick them up just based on these practices. So this is huge for everybody.
Dude, Kittle was jacked in that thing. He had some caffeine. You could tell he was just walking off the practice field because he was wired, man. I freaking love it. That's kind of who he is. But yeah, just playing against somebody else. And more importantly, it's a 3-4 defensive scheme over there for the Vikings. So it's completely different run fits and all that stuff. Can you talk a little bit as an O-line guy, the difference between going on up against an odd man front or a 3-4 and an even man front, a 4-3? It changes everything, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does. I mean, because you have different techniques along that defensive line. You're used to having somebody line up in an 8 or a 9 outside, and then now all of a sudden you've got a 5 tech, and you're dealing with that. So it changes the lanes at which you block and how you're getting to those different levels. And then plus now you're dealing with an outside linebacker that's going to walk up. Where they walk up, you don't know. Are they going to walk both guys up? It just makes it interesting. So a lot of it is sight on the ball, figuring out where am I going to be and who am I going to block. And that's the thing. 3-4 defenses provide a lot of variations. So being able to figure out where these guys are once you get to the snap is one of the most important things. So, yeah, it's a little bit different. But, I mean, it's good that they're getting that experience because so many times last year they absolutely loaded up on the 49ers with a bunch of different looks, including 5- and 6-man fronts. And a 3-4 defense definitely provides those looks.
Yeah, it's interesting. And whenever you look at it just from not only just the alignment, right? The body style of a 3-4 nose tackle, a little bit different than somebody that you're going to see in, a Maurice Hurst who's gone sadly, or a Kevin Givens. You got some big old boys up there, and those 3-4 defensive ends, you're talking JJ Watt type guys, as opposed to, some of the smaller guys like a Samson Ebukam or whatever. It's just different. That's all I could say about it. But it's important too. You get to play against somebody else, different strengths. You've been going against that 49ers front seven, which is just a beat down. Now you're playing against, definitely not as good a front seven, but very good safety play. And if you flip it on the other side, maybe the best wide receiver tandem in the NFL, and Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen, which we don't have those guys. We have yards after catch, contested catches, whatever else. That's Adam Thielen, amazing routes, amazing hands. Justin Jefferson, one of the most explosive route runners that just creates space on every damn route. We don't have those. And so for our corners, I wish we had our starting corners out there today, but for our backup corners, a lot of those clips, they were getting some lessons.
Yeah, it's tough for Diablo and Crowley. Ken Crowley is the other corner. I'm guessing the 49ers are just trying to take a real deep look at these guys and see where they are. You're going to get a real good look against these receivers. And the one of Deommodore Lenoir getting beat on the stop route where Justin Jefferson ends up taking to the house, he missed the tackle. I mean, those things are going to happen. But, these guys are learning real fast. And isn't it like you were talking about with the Minnesota secondary? That's one thing I liked about this group is you have the Smith, you have Patrick Peterson. These guys understand everything about how to, disguise and give these guys different looks. And I think that's going to be really beneficial for Trey.
Especially our wide receiver. We might have the most, I don't know, not inexperienced, but youth. We got a young wide receiver group, man. Debo's the vet. Ray McLeod's the vet. You got a lot of young guys in there. Juwan Jennings, second year. I guess this is his third year. But same thing with Ayuk. Danny Gray, rookie. Lots of undrafted rookies. They are young. And so going up against, those veteran presence, you're going to get some new stuff. Now, Trey Lance had a quick comment about today's practice, which I thought was good to hear.
So ups and downs, excited to watch it for sure. Again, just good to go against another defense, one-on-one, 7-on-7, red zone, everything against another team. And the new stuff they're doing this year also is, it's fun to practice against. They give a lot of good looks. Obviously a real talented defense with a lot of guys who have played a lot.
Yeah, a lot of guys that have played a lot. They got some old folks over there, man.